Maple Hollow's the kind of town you drive through without noticing you've been there. A diner, 2 gas pumps, 1 post office that still smells like envelopes and floor polish. People nod instead of waving, talk about weather instead of dreams. Most folks are content with that. I thought I was too. I'd been running my father's hardware store since he passed. Same counter, same register, same customers, arguing about screws versus nails. Every day started with coffee that tasted like rust and ended with the same view of the single streetlight blinking against the fog. When you live like that long enough, you start to fade around the edges. People still say hi, but their eyes slide past you. It's not loneliness, it's something quieter, like being erased, one polite nod at a time. Then came Mrs. Hanley. She moved into the Watterson house, a crooked little place that had been empty since the bank foreclosed on it years back. Everyone said she must be crazy to live there. I figured she was just independent. She came into my store on a Wednesday afternoon, asked about lamp oil. Her voice had that kind of steadiness you don't hear much anymore. Slow, deliberate, certain. She smiled, said thank you, and walked out. 2 days later, she was back, and the next week, again. She'd linger while I swept up, asking harmless questions. How long I'd owned the place, whether the town ever changed. Most people make small talk to fill silence. She did it to study it. One evening, near closing, she was waiting outside, under that flickering streetlight. The sun had dropped, and the air smelled like rain and dust. She asked me if I ever felt unseen. I laughed, said something like, "That's pretty much the story of my life." She looked pleased, like she'd been waiting for that answer. Then she reached into her bag and pulled out a small brass lantern. Old, but clean. "Light this," she said, "and people will finally see you for who you are." I asked what that meant. She said, "You'll understand." Then she walked away, her white dress catching what was left of the daylight, and turned the corner. I almost tossed the thing in a drawer, but later that night, the house felt too quiet. So I set the lantern on the porch rail and lit it. The flame was steady, didn't waver, even though the wind picked up. It threw off a pale gold light, softer than any candle. I watched it for a while, felt something shift inside me, like the silence had moved over to make room for me again. The next morning, things were different. The waitress at the diner remembered my name. Old Mr. Jeffers asked my advice about fixing his roof. A few high school kids even called me Sir. People had noticed me before, but not like this. This was attention that felt heavy, real. By the 3rd day, the mayor stopped by to ask if I'd joined the town council. The local paper ran a short column calling me a pillar of Maple Hollow. It was ridiculous, but I smiled anyway. For the first time in years, I mattered. So I lit the lantern again. Every night and every day, the world leaned a little closer. But little by little, things started to twist. The reflection in the shop window began to delay, half a second behind my movements. When I passed mirrors, my face looked sharper somehow, the eyes too bright, and that warm glow from the lantern grew stronger, spilling across the yard like fog. I told myself it was in my head, until the night I forgot to light it. The following morning, everything had changed again. Backwards. No one looked at me, not even once. At the diner, the waitress walked right by, The customers in the store acted like I wasn't there. I spoke to them, waved in front of their faces, and they just kept talking. By sundown, I was shaking. I ran straight to Mrs. Hanley's house, but when I got there, it looked abandoned. No furniture, dust everywhere. On the kitchen table sat another brass lantern, faintly glowing, same as mine. That's when it hit me. The one I had at home wasn't hers anymore. It had changed, or switched, or maybe it never belonged to me at all. I went home and tried to blow the flame out, but it wouldn't move. It just hummed softly. That night, people started showing up outside. Not neighbors, strangers. They said they'd seen a light shining through the woods, brighter than the moon, and they just wanted to see it up close. They filled the yard, staring, and the lantern burned hotter, whiter. When I looked closer, I saw shapes in the glass. Faces. All the people who'd looked at me, talked to me, smiled at me these past few weeks. Caught in the light, eyes open, perfectly still. It wasn't giving me attention, it was taking theirs. Every glance, every thought, every trace of them, swallowed by that steady flame, until there was nothing left to notice but me. Now, Maple Hollow's empty. Houses still stand, but the windows are black. No birds, no wind, just that hum from the lantern on my porch. I've tried to leave. I've driven for hours, but every road bends back to town. And wherever I stop for gas or coffee, someone eventually knocks on the door of my truck and says, "We saw your light. We just wanted to meet you. I don't light it anymore." But somehow, every night when I open my eyes, it's already burning again. When I catch my reflection now, it isn't mine. It's hers, Mrs. Hanley's, smiling, patient, like she knew this would happen all along. And maybe she did. Maybe the lantern never wanted someone special to hold it. Maybe it just needed someone lonely enough to keep it burning. If you ever drive through Maple Hollow and see a faint gold light through the trees, don't stop. Keep your eyes straight ahead, because once that light sees you, you'll never see anything else again. Thanks for watching. No sleep tonight. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It truly helps this channel grow and keep these horrors coming. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, sleep well.